Tuesday marks the second anniversary of the October 7th attacks in Israel. 2 years ago today, Hamas breached the Gaza-Israeli border, launching an assault that killed some 1,200 people and saw more than 250 taken hostage. Just hours after that, Israel launched its counterattack, the beginning of the current Israel-Hamas war. Well, for more on this, let's bring in France 24's Noga Tarnopolsky, who joins me from the site of those attacks in southern Israel, not far from the border with Gaza. Noga, what more can you tell us about how this day is being commemorated there today?
Hello, Jeannie. Good to see you. The day is being commemorated, I have to say, in a strange way, because the government has decided that there's no national commemoration this year. So Israelis find themselves in a situation in which they are kind of wandering among a patchwork of improvised or more or less organized private and organizational initiatives to commemorate their loved ones. As you mentioned, I was just left Re'im, the site of the worst massacre that day. I think almost 400 people who were killed as they attempted to flee a rave party that had gone all through the night. And there was no government representative. So everything is being handled by civil society and by people, individuals, families. And that really is being noted, that gap between the pain being felt by the Israeli citizens and a sort of unresolved trauma, I think, that is simply ongoing versus what feels to many people like a government that is trying to pretend October 7th never happened. I interviewed the head of the Labor Party, Yair Golan, at this event. He's a retired general who put on his uniform that day and went to try and save people. And I asked him what it meant that the state of Israel as a state is not commemorating it. And he simply said that once a new government takes over, if and when there'll be elections, I'm adding, he said the entire civil service, the entire structure of the state is going to have to be replaced and changed. And that does reflect, I think, the feeling of the Israelis who I met and talked to today who feel confused and defeated 2 years in.
2 years in, as you say, but also some people are saying there could be some sign of hope. There are these new indirect peace talks that are going on now in Egypt following this plan that was proposed by the U.S. Are people feeling hopeful at all about those talks?
That's a great question. Of course, for the families of people who were killed, the release of hostages doesn't offer personal hope. It does offer a sort of national healing if it happens. But Israelis are relating to this possibility, of course, with a spark of hope, but with tremendous fear that in one way or another, this effort too will be scuttled. It's worth remembering at this juncture that the 20-point peace proposal brought by President Trump is very difficult to differentiate from what President Joe Biden offered 18 months ago. And at that time, it was rejected by the Israeli government. So there are many, many, many fears. There have been protests in Jerusalem and in Tel Aviv today where protesters were arrested by police for no really good reason. And I will add that at the ceremony in Re'im, I interviewed Mrs. Rita Uri, the mother of Ben Uri, a 31-year-old who was killed at the Nova Festival, and she said to me that she just wishes every day that her son had been taken hostage. She told me that for her the word hostage includes being held somewhere, and that she's been left without even that to hope for. So it's a complicated day, but of course Israelis do have one eye on the negotiations underway in Egypt.
Noga, thank you for that. Noga Tarnopolsky there reporting from southern Israel.